All right, welcome to Freedom and Chain channel. I have a great interview with you guys today. It's Geofffery. He goes by KittyFace over on Instagram. He says he doesn't have any social media stuff for you guys to check out. So if you guys want to contact him through Telegram, that would be the best place to do it. Is it KittyFace? Is that
should be? Yep, should be KittyFace.
All right, and you guys can check out a lot of Skycoin Telegram groups over there. That it's a great place to find information on Skycoin. The first question I want to ask you is just pretty much what I'd like to ask anybody that got into Bitcoin. How did you find Bitcoin, and how did you get into this world?
Oh, it's a long road. Began sometime in 2017 when I was much younger, and I started mining Bitcoin then. And I ended up having to turn off my miner because it became unprofitable. But then in 2019, early 2019, I got in contact with the Skycoin team. And since then, I've been working first as an intern for them and now as a remote software developer. And it's been pretty crazy. I even worked for a very brief period of time with the McAfee team. Not directly, we communicated through Twitter, and we're organizing a decentralized project, as well as I did a couple Solidity contracts for them, but never got paid for them because they oversold the contract for the development. But yeah, so I work for Skycoin currently, and yeah, just continue to do a lot of research as well. So there's a lot of good projects out there, and I think Skycoin's one that's going to be on the rise, especially this year.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this project as well. So is there some situation, something you came across that had you discover Bitcoin, or were you in what really, the reason I got into it, well, I found it, and then after learning about all the technology, going down all the rabbit holes, I pretty much figured out that it was the path for freedom, pretty much, for the world.
Agreed.
Like anything it can do will lead us to a more free society. So that's one subject I kind of want to go down to.
I'd be down with it
today. About so did you just come across it in a post, or where did you actually discover it?
Well, I mean, it's been memed a lot, since like 2013, 2014. It's been pretty memed. But again, I really didn't get involved technologically with it until really 2019. And it was probably about the summer of 2019 that I really started digging into cryptocurrency and blockchain as a means for technological freedom and also financial freedom. And I do have to say, while I'm not particularly a Bitcoin maximalist myself, I think Bitcoin is going to be the largest cryptocurrency, at least in this early decade of the 2020s. And I really do think it's going to reach a lot of the it's already touched the 1% of like the world's wealth. Like cryptocurrency passed like the $1 trillion mark recently. So
yeah, I think exactly the same thing. The Bitcoin's kind of the gold of the world, the digital world.
Oh yeah,
pretty much everything is going to run through that. But that was another thing I wanted to talk about, is tokenizing everything, because that's what Centh talks about a lot, is everybody having their own blockchain. And then another subject I want to talk about was shit coins, because I don't really think there are shit coins.
And, there are a few.
Well, I mean, yes, there are, but I don't like how people portray the idea of altcoins as shit coins.
Oh yeah,
the Bitcoin maximalists have this skewed idea of the world, like no one has any ideas in their head to create anything outside of Bitcoin, or like you kind of know what I mean? Like they just have this if it's Bitcoin or nothing, and everything's going to destroy everything else. It's like, no, that's just not how the world works.
Yeah. So Bitcoin, again, I actually do like Bitcoin maximalists because really it's more of a misunderstanding. See, they think that shitcoins are shitcoins because they think they're trying to steal the power of Bitcoin, but they're not. They're just there because they're trying to prove that tokenization is inevitable. And I'm not a huge promoter of decentralized finance or, this DeFi scam that's going around. Mm-hmm. But, I do believe that, the roots of cryptocurrency are in, and this should be obvious, are in financial freedom. So, it's obvious that it's going to move into financial sectors, especially traditional ones. Obviously, it's not going to. I'm sure you've been paying attention recently, and everyone's gearing up for a huge like anti-Bitcoin movement. So it's going to happen pretty soon.
The government thing, anti-Bitcoin.
yeah, like news sources are going to like start pushing, oh, it's the end of an era, Bitcoin's over. They're going to cancel Bitcoin. They're going to say, oh, you can't have Bitcoin. And then Synth talks about this a lot. And I mean, from my own research, it's looking pretty likely. I'm already seeing some articles running just yeah, Bitcoin's over, it's a scam. And
yeah, I think that's why DeFi is so important, decentralized exchanges. But what is your kind of idea where decentralized exchanges are going to go? Like how do they kind of function in this world?
So I'm hoping that we continue to have decentralized exchanges for the tokenization of either for the exchange of goods and services or to represent a commodity, because as Synth talks about a lot, there is this principle for exchange traded funds or ETFs that they're oversold. Like paper gold is like oversold 150 times. There's not enough gold in the world to actually supply the actual like amount of commodity paper gold that there is. Not even like 1% of it. And because of that, we're also living in a bubble, a commodity bubble, if you will, but not particularly because of that, but also because our economy is backed on debt. So the world's economy is propped up on debt. People owe each other money. And it's actually this concept of derivative liabilities, which represent, the pensions. It represents, all these different ETFs. And it's pretty bad. And I think it's $270 trillion of debt in derivative liabilities in the United States alone, which is, there's not even enough money to pay 10% of that in the United States. Not enough wealth to pay like 20%, 25%. So, and that's just the derivative liability debt. There's also, you have $30 trillion of like government debts, like $22 trillion in like business debts and corporate debts. And then you also have 12 trillion, like around 12 to 18 trillion dollars in like personal debts as well. Again, I can't trust those figures because I wrote them down somewhere, but it's about where they are. So
yeah, pretty much the system we're working on right now is a piece of junk and it needs to go is my thoughts on it.
Well said. Yeah.
That's why it's the like I think since this last bull market, I kind of just gave up on looking at other projects. I pretty much just look at Bitcoin on daily chart and Skycoin. Those are the only two coins I kind of care about, really. Kind of Bitcoin's like kind of telling me how the market's going, and then Skycoin's the future of the internet. So that's where I want the world to go, because that's where freedom is. If we can get this decentralized internet mesh network, and then this other idea of tokenizing everything is Synth. I got this little clip. I had to go through so many videos of Synth trying to get a clip of him explaining this. I was going to show one, but it's not that good. He was just pretty much saying all your Twitter would be on its own blockchain, Telegram would be on its own blockchain, YouTube, blogs, everything, you have a separate blockchain. I love that idea. But I've been thinking for, I don't know how long he's been throwing this idea out there, for a year and a half. But I like the idea of kind of like decentralizing your personal ID. I don't know how many people are, I know people are trying to do that, but I want it to be more of like, I have my wallet of my own personal ID. I have my reputation in there. I post my videos. I post my blogs. I post everything there. And then
and you own it.
Yeah, I own it. And then people just produce apps that kind of pull information as like I can't, if I want to give them my information, and I can contract with them, and they can have permission to take my information and post to other places and produce a social media. So I think that's kind of how I want to see the world work.
So we have a few different technologies at Skycoin that I've worked with, and that my current team with CX has worked with and actually spearheaded in the past. So I work with a developer. He's going to go nameless because I don't know if he, would agree for me spreading his name. So in 2017, he was the guy who developed this technology called CXO. So it's the CX objects library, and essentially what it is everyone has their own. It's like a blockchain, but remove the synchronization code. It's fully asynchronous, and it's fully personal. So you own a series of blockchains, and essentially you have tools for aggregating this data. It's exactly what you were describing. And that's kind of what CXO is. It takes the networking aspect of blockchain and gives each person their own blockchain or series of blockchains, and instead provides tools for aggregating this and distributing the actual downloading process. So, if you want to stream something instead of, because multicast is, you can't do multicast, but you can still like do multiple share for, upstream, just sharing shit. So, and then CXO, the way it works is if you have like, let's say 500 people, they're all connected in a mesh net. And if I want to get from point A to point B, in the current internet, I have to go around, multiple different sources to get to B. And sometimes it'll get caught in loops because the current internet, you can only see like so far ahead, actually only one packet depth, usually for TCP communication. And that's what the idea for Skywire is. You actually have this intelligent network of nodes that are skeptical of their peers, as well as cooperative and kind of like synergy. So the sum, it's greater than the sum of its parts. So they're able to actually work together to distribute the actual routing process across, every single peer efficiently, as well as pre-mapping out the network and having this idea of the topology of the network. So Skywire is a very solid technology, and CXO builds on this and instead allows people, let's say if I want to download a video, right? So let's say my favorite YouTuber uploads a video and 500,000 people want to see it once. Oh, I want to see it. Oh, and they all go to a server in China, and the server in China is like overloaded. It can't actually they can't replicate the file enough and actually propagate it to all the different nodes that actually want it. So the idea with CXO is you would have one peer download it, and all the peers near him could then download from that peer, and essentially you distribute the actual, or you decentralize the actual propagation and replication process. And there's a technology for this replication system called Blip-Blop Replicator, and it's actually one of the 4 key components of CXO. And anyway, but yeah, it's a really very fancy technology. If you want to read up more about, CXO, it's going to be on the Skycoin website. We have a GitHub for it as well for the first version. The CXO2, which is it's the more modern version. We drafted up in August. That's not quite public yet, but we're hoping to make it public soon. And then there's also if you want to learn more about it, the Bitcoin talk thread that Synth has for Skycoin around 2016. So on page like 110 or 114 of the Bitcoin talk thread, there's a lot of information there if you want to read up on CXO and Blip-Blop. So yeah.
All right, I'll give links to that. So check it out. I'm a novice on a lot of this stuff. I kind of understand things, but I've dabbled in code and stuff like that, but I'm not the biggest expert on these things. So I kind of want to understand how everything kind of integrates with each other. So I think the last product that came out is a VPN. So how do I actually use that VPN?
So the VPN currently is part of Skywire. So you'll have to run Skywire. You'll have to run a Skywire node, and on top of that, you'll be able to actually run the VPN.
Okay.
I think it's part of the hypervisor. Again, Skywire is not really my specialty, but again, if you need any help with that, we have 2 channels on Telegram. Skywire, it's spelled all lowercase. You can go to that and you can ask questions about how to set up nodes, and people will be very helpful. And we got a lot of admins in there who can help you out if you want to set up your own Skywire node or your own VPN. And we're on mainnet now, so you can use any computer to run it. You don't have to use the SkyMiner, and you don't have to use a Raspberry Pi. You can use whatever node you want. Again, there's a couple problems with compiling the binaries on Windows, but I'm sure that people will be able to help you. And there's also a problem with the Mac compilation as well. Or actually, it's a problem with the distribution for Mac. But it's like 1 in 10. It's not too bad. And there's, again, we got a lot of help channels, both in Skywire and our main chat Skycoin. If you want to ask a question, people will be happy to help you.
Yeah, I think that might be a future video I'm going to do. Is I have one Raspberry Pi. I'm going to have somebody help me walk through and get that set up. So,
We have so many articles as well. So, and
I haven't looked at it probably. I don't know. It's been a while, but I don't think I've touched it in a year, maybe.
oh yeah,
Sure. But the articles I was looking at weren't very. They got me to a spot, and then it got all confusing for me. So, figured one day I'd sit down, go step by step, and throw some questions at it on Telegram to see, find some answers and see how a novice like me can get it up and running.
yeah, we should have some. Yeah, that is a good point. We really should have some more, like a video tutorial, for instance, would be very helpful for something like that. So maybe I'll suggest that. Again, I'm on the CX team though, so it probably won't get heard. But
well, that's like I know there's Frey, is that his name, that does a lot of videos on YouTube?
So Frey is in charge of marketing here, and yes,
Okay.
Frey
Yeah,
is very awesome.
he does some great videos, but I guess I thought he was more independent, but yeah, I'm really hoping there's more independent people to start producing some videos, because
Yeah.
go on YouTube and there's not many Skycoin videos, kind of, with other programmers or people that are really into Sky. There's just Sent chatting his crazy mind off about the same stuff that he always talks about, which is great. I love the guy's mentality.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it does have that synth charm though, and so it turns some people off of the project. For me, it just enhances it, because I have a lot of the same thought. Again, maybe with a little bit less energy, but a lot of the same thoughts. We could get into that, I guess, a little later, because I do want to talk more about the tech and just explain what might be confusing to people about that. So if you have any questions about CX, or the CX chains, or like how everything integrates, I'd be happy to answer any of that.
Wanted to get into fiber a little bit. You kind of
awesome,
really good at that. So what would I need to launch my own token? Let's just put it or blockchain. Because let me just ask a question. I could have a blockchain and then I can tokenize it or not tokenize it.
So currently with Fiber, it's essentially a fork of the Skycoin repo. So the Skycoin blockchain, it's not the fork of the Skycoin blockchain, it's just the repo. So it's all the same code. Because basically when Skycoin was first starting up, and 2010, 2011, they spent like the first 4 or 5 years just getting a blockchain that was lightweight, and that was standardized and was efficient. So, and that's actually what Skycoin is. So that's so Skycoin is fiber first and foremost. And in addition, we have the triangle, if you will, of Skywire, and and then there's also CX and then the Ether, but it's been renamed to CXO and Skywire, so which has been separated out. So now it's more like a fancy little shape. But yeah, so with Fiber, what you can do if you want to launch a chain with your own token is essentially we have this tool called NewCoin, and we have a file you can edit for the parameters to set for your chain, including distribution variables, how many tokens you want, and actually we have programmatic locks. So if you want to actually have tokens that can't be released until a certain date, you can also have that as well. So there's no actual mining algorithm for Skycoin or Fiber, so it's all pre-mined. In the future, especially because there's a lot of work being done with Fiber right now with the CX chains updates for CX. In the future, you'll be able to actually have contracts on the Skycoin Fiber blockchains. And they're better than, they're not actually smart contracts. They're better than that because they can be any program you want. They're not limited to, like the resources of the underlying blockchain. There's no gas. And you can do whatever you want with it. And it's this language we have called CX. And you can actually program in CX and put that program on a blockchain and have the blockchain run it. You can have peers actually submit transactions with code in the blockchain and actually store variables and data and resources on the chain state. So that's 2 different ways you can use Fiber. So one is to create your own token with using the NewCoin tool, and then you can set up. It's actually pretty simple to set up a node. And then there's also the CX chains, and there's a lot of work being done with that right now, because technically they're still in like an alpha or in development version. And we'll be actually getting some big updates. You know, the guy I was talking about with CXO is working on it. So yeah. But yeah, very exciting times for Skycoin.
Yeah, so that's perfect. That's as soon as I heard the word smart contract coming into this Bitcoin world or Ether world, it was like, oh my God, you could do like the most amazing things. But then once you start to learn how it really functions, the limitations of it. So that's another reason I got so attracted to Skycoin, because I saw the potential of you actually being able to have a fully functional smart contract, or however we want to name these things in the future.
Oh yeah. Yeah. We also have a game engine, like you know, for blockchain games. So we have CXFX, and it's this whole game engine that's being built with CX, and it's going to be put on a blockchain soon. And there's a lot of exciting things that have been in development for a long time. We have all the hardware, we have the antenna, and those are getting research. You know, we have the at-home kits that people are testing currently, and we have the the hardware in the hardware lab that's being developed as well for the new Sky miners and the Sky router. And then we have the omnidirectional antenna, a little thing on the, that spins around. We're going to have that soon. And there was a few problems that were fixed with that as well. And hopefully we'll be seeing that soon on the market. We released the Sky wallet. So we have a hardware wallet that actually works, and the updates for, because I've actually worked on the Sky wallet before. I've actually already downloaded and programmed, because I have the HD key, the Bitcoin and Ethereum support, and hopefully that'll be fully functional soon, and we'll be distributing that for updates soon for the Sky wallet. So, and once we have that, we'll be able to support ERC20 tokens as well on the wallet. So yeah, a lot of exciting things already out, and a lot of exciting things to come for Skycoin.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. The wallet to be able to filled with any coin we want. I haven't said this yet, but my brother's actually ISP. He does internet via air, whatever they call that, fiber internet.
Yeah.
Air.
Is
like
he like wireless ISP?
Yeah, wireless ISP. He has a small
Nice.
little company, so it's actually Skyweb is the name. Skyweb LA.
Nice.
You guys want to check it
Yeah.
out? It's a little tiny. I don't even know if he has 1,000 customers yet, but so do you know anything about the compatibility of that hardware? Are you guys using like any antennas or?
So everything's going to be hardware agnostic in the end. So you'll be able to run this and you'll be able to integrate it into any system. It can go on top of the current internet, and for like the last mile problem for rural areas, if you want to have like an ISP, you can do that. And currently there's already a lot of efforts done even by current internet service providers to expand their markets in rural areas by actually doing this kind of last mile chaining, additional relays to existing lines, so they don't actually have to go out and dig up and build in like the fiber optics themselves, and they can spread it using a mesh net. Again, it's they're not putting too much money in it. I think the most they ever put in was like 7 billion in 2009, and then since then it's like been here and there. So it's still a huge problem. I think 35% of customers are satisfied with their internet in like the Bible Belt of America and like Midwest.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad.
Well, I think a lot of people just don't want to be with the company that they're with.
Oh yeah, there's only one provider too.
Well, one provider in every area, but there's what, two?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's Launch ISP. I was communicating with him. Hopefully I can get an interview with him, pick his brain, but he's doing an ISP out in Australia, which seems pretty interesting. So are they using the product coming from Skycoin, or are they?
I'm going to be honest. I did kind of gloss over their statements that they released, but I know that they are going to be using the Skywire technology as the fundamental kind of building block for the rest of their project, as well as the Skycoin technologies as a whole. As far as their immediate plans, I can't actually say for certain whether or not they're going to be using the hardware from Skycoin. Again, I want to say that's true, but I actually don't know because I don't have the document on hand. I'm sure it's true though.
Well, I was just curious, is it possible at this point just to program your own stuff to use whatever equipment you want, or is it just?
Yeah, we had so back in, I can't remember when, it was either late 2019 or like early 2020. We had someone actually hook up two modems and use our Skycoin BBS, our CXO based over Skywire communications tool. So we were actually able to have a Skywire network set up on two antennae in someone's house just from like regular routers. So yeah, we actually can, like our software currently can support a lot of different networks, and it does actually work over, antenna. So
Cool.
yeah.
Yes. Well, I really wanted to talk about social media.
Oh yeah, we can get into that.
Future of that, because that's a hot topic right now, I think.
Ask away. Yeah.
Yeah. So where do you see, like, you have heard Senth explain like what his vision of social media is. So can you dive deeper into that?
Yeah. So essentially, what's happening right now over social media is it's established in such a way that it can be censored at every single level. So I mean, it's not just the social media; it's every level of the internet. So this is technology they built in the 50s and 60s that they then implemented in the 70s and 80s, and then nothing's changed since then. Everything's been backdoored.
Also, probably made to spy on us.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's I mean, technically speaking, there's a lot of different standards that released. There's SS5 and SS7, which is being used now, or SS8 that's just being used now. And essentially, this is part of the SIGTRAN stuff, and it's part of the SCTP stuff that the what's it called, Internet Task Force released. So, and nothing's changed since then. And all the protocols that we use to support literally everything vertically and horizontally are backdoored. Everything is designed in such a way that can be shut off at any point, anywhere. And social media, which is built on top of already like many layers of already compromised systems, is itself compromised as well. Is it a fundamental problem with centralized networks? Probably not. I do believe that centralization can work if given the right tool, give the keys to the right person kind of situation, but not on the scale that we're seeing now. Do I believe that power corrupts? That's a more philosophical question. But yeah, we'll touch that later. But yeah, basically, the idea now is that there's kind of two problems. People don't own their data. When you publish something on the internet, you lose all ownership. It's the companies that own it. So essentially, you're actually giving up your own soul to these companies, and you're basically saying, here, I want you to just suck me dry of all my resources, all my money. And that's what's happening right now. You don't own your data. Nobody owns your data except the companies. And in a way, you don't own yourself because they own your opinion, because that's what you publish online. You live vicariously through the internet now, and you don't own that. You don't own your own experience. They do. So that's one problem. And the other problem is they have their own agenda that they want to push. And because of that, sometimes everything slows down. And you can't speak. And if they want you gone, they'll just snap their fingers and you're gone.
Yeah.
So, to solve both of those problems does require decentralization. It does require redefining how the internet works. Having your own blockchain, being able to publish your own opinion and own that. Actually have programmatic proof that you own that, and have everything mathematically backed, as well as having a network that scales indefinitely. It's infinitely scalable. So having something like that is essentially what Synth wants, and this is what we're building with Skywire, with CXO, with the CX chains and CX, and the ownership that we're going to be providing with the fiber, and also with the hardware wallets and all the hardware we're giving, and being able to also do it all peer-to-peer. Earn money while having a connection to the internet, being able to meter that to your friends and own that, every resource that you can possibly distribute, you can still own. And that's kind of the vision that we have. at Skycoin and what Synth wants as well. So yeah.
Yeah, that's why everything I think about it is like, how could this be done in blockchain? Like this company. So one that I've been thinking about forever is polls or surveys. Like you just publish everything, your opinion, to your blockchain, and then if somebody wants this information from you, they request it and they provide a little fee to get it, or something along those lines. Because the main problem, like with surveys, is that if you probably never done it before, but there's people that are like, hey, maybe, because there's always like, hey, make a little bit of money.
Oh
so
yeah.
You go in and you start filling out. It's like name. It's like all this information you filled out before. It's like, that is repetitive for one. So if you had a blockchain, you just have all your information on there. You'd go to this form, they'd request this information, and it would just pull it from your blockchain, and then you would answer the other questions that they want, or maybe you answer these questions in the past, so they just pull it from the past, or something along those lines, to make life easier.
It's less work for everybody. It's not two birds with one stone. It's a dozen birds pulverized with a boulder. So it's a very easy solution to already very complex and weird, kind of just unnecessarily complicated situation. Yeah, it's all these little tiny like quality of living type things that blockchain will accelerate.
It would also make polling a lot easier, where
yeah,
you could just I don't know. You could see everybody's data instead of the polling companies like picking and choosing who they want to count in their polls, and you could have a software.
Yep. I'm
glad
you didn't go to voting. Glad you didn't go to voting, because you can't talk about that. That's thought crime. You can't talk about blockchain voting. That's thought crime. So
that's a whole different, like I'm not in the United States of America kind of concept of government anymore. I've moved away from that with blockchain and everything. I think we need to move to more decentralized small groups, communities contracting together.
So this is exactly what Synth believes as well.
Yeah, you contracting with governments, or not governments, you contracting with communities to, if you want something done, you kind of donate to it through your community to get projects done and stuff like that. So like the voting would be you vote like to improve the software, or you vote with your money to pay for a project, and that's pretty much the only voting that you have. You don't have the power to vote for a government to come steal money from somebody else to go do something that you don't have control over anyways.
Exactly. Yeah. And just people don't have any control, and it's not an accident. They've been doing this for the longest time, historically, and better now than ever. Unfortunately, it's unsustainable. So the current regime that's tried to push for power, they can't sustain it, and they're just gonna get fucked by every other nation. So this is what's happening with America, and with the current regime that's kind of swept it across the country and said, "Oh, we're in charge now."
Yeah, it's the regime of the one world governments.
Oh yeah, well, globalization is it's not a dual-edged sword. It's just what would it be? Not a dual-edged sword, a vibrator. That's what it is. Because again, it's a false pleasure. There's nothing you can do with it. It's just a big thing for centralizing and aggregating all the power, so a single select few can have it. And this is what they did in 1947 when they formed X or Y group, and this is what happened in the 60s when all these people were afraid of like two different branches of the government. And this is what's happening now, where like the single the zeitgeist is so stolen from the minds of people that it's basically 1984. We we just can't think. It's illegal. So
I think someone explained it as a Animal Farm. So I need to watch that movie to get caught up to it, but it actually makes a lot more sense, Animal Farm, than 84 right now.
I guess, yeah. We're maybe 2 or 3 steps away from that.
I watched the beginning of the movie, and it's like they're all the animals are being suppressed by the farmers and stuff like that. So they're gonna fight back and take control, and that's pretty much like where we're at right now. Is the the animals fighting against the government to take control of power to control everybody else. It's just not going to work out in the long run.
I wish I could say that. The area that I live in, I mean, again, I do a lot of my socializing over the internet nowadays, mostly just because of the pandemic. So it's hard to stay in touch with my community. But where I am, it's very, very, very blue, very democratic. In the sense that it's part of the democratic regime.
Yeah.
And it's a little upsetting. The things have really gotten this out of hand. I mean, there's blatant evidence online about how the election was stolen from our current president, not the president-elect, and there's immediate evidence towards basically how they were ready for this. That it's like a fourth generation or fifth generation warfare tactic that they've been going on, like a decentralized organization of like 50 different figureheads all planning it out, and nerds cracking on textbooks and like planning out, and you have all these military generals and stuff type imagery to paint the scene. So and that's what's happening right now. They were just ready to crack down. You have like this systematic breakdown of the belief in liberty and freedom. So and that's kind of like the final stepping stone, is that they need to actually suppress this. And why in 2016 was Trump elected? Because he represents a larger movement of populism and this idea of liberty, which is, again, I'm not trying, I don't want to portray him as some kind of like deity, because Jesus Christ, it's Trump already. He's a billionaire, but
well,
he
for me,
represent that movement.
Well, for me, it was I voted for Barack. Wasn't really in political at that point. 4 years later, didn't like the guy. He wasn't doing anything good. Didn't vote. Didn't have the opportunity to vote. Wouldn't have voted for Romney anyways. And then the next 2016 comes around. Was that the year? I forget now. 2016 comes around. I'm like, all right, I don't want Hillary. That's like, who? We need to find someone that's going to beat Hillary. Like that's the worst. This is before I'm like where I'm at now, where I want to get rid of all the government and put in blockchain to govern. But as soon as Trump walked down the escalator, I was like, that's the man. That's the only one that can do it. Take her out. So I'm all in for it, because I was still more freedom minds, against a lot of the controls that we had, but I was still in the idea of the United States is the only way we can keep freedom. I think it's the only way to protect freedom until we move forward to secure it even more. But I think we are the last place where freedom actually lives, kind of.
Yeah, I mean, if all the different like all the revolutions that they're going to stage in like Poland and Hungary, and if those actually happen, then that would be upsetting. I got a lot of people that I talk to in Poland, and I think it's a rare point in Poland and Hungary where the approval ratings like 80%, 90%, very high numbers. People actually like what's happening because they understand that this is how they get you. So there's this concept of basically brainwashing people into hedonic practices because they're easier to control then, because they're just fucking each other like animals. And it's like in 1984 with the Stoma drug that they just pump in people's veins. Or no, that's Brave New World, Huxley's book, Brave New World. So it's like what a stupid mistake. But yeah, Huxley's Brave New World. So it's like Soma and that. And that's why they're banning no transgenderism, no like homosexual stuff, no, none of that, sexual, that's bad. And it's not like they're saying, oh, we're oppressing our people because they can't express themselves through sex. No, expressing yourself through sex is itself a psyop, and a lot of people talk about this. If I could recommend a book, E. Michael Jones's Libido Dominandi does a good historical representation of using sex as a tool to manipulate people and maintain control and order. So, he's a big Christian as well. I don't know if there's a lot of Christian listeners, but yes.
I'm not sure. I'm sure there are. I've been pushing more Trump stuff lately, so that always brings in Christians, but I think there's a lot of more people just
it's a turn off.
open spiritually, I think. Then
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that because that's the kind of person he is. So if it comes off as a little religious, I'm not trying to push it because it's religious. Try to read between the lines and actually look at what he's trying to say. So
I think that's what everybody needs to do. Instead of censoring people, you just read between the lines.
yeah,
You pick and choose what you believe in. I don't know.
yeah, exactly. Again, I think that it's very hilarious that there's a double standard. Like, oh, we're gonna butt fuck all the Trump supporters to death because they need to embrace their homosexual side, and then they're gonna like replace their gender 37 times. And then you have all like the blacks saying, yeah, we need to take away all the policing because police are bad. It's creating oh, it's like all this white supremacy in America. Oh God, we got rid of. You have Barbara Bush saying, is it Barbara Bush? Yeah, it might be. The Democratic person says, oh, we finally got rid of the white supremacist in chief. Oh God, oh harumph, and all this stuff like that.
Mhm.
And it's hard to actually take it seriously now. It feels like you're living in a sitcom, like every event follows sitcom logic. Oh, the big bad man's gone. Haha, now we can get back to our, oh, and the hero steps in and he's going to save us all, by touching our children. So it's kind of surreal,
Yeah, it is very crazy time. I'm kind of on the side of the get rid of the police, but we got to replace it with the blockchain.
Yeah, exactly.
Uber of security. We got enough cameras in our houses, and I'm sure we could soup up the security systems where we can just have our neighbors come and check up on us instead of an armed officer that wants to write us a ticket come
oh yeah, it's a problem.
harass us.
Yeah, again, I'm not I don't support the removal of the police, but I don't support the police either. It's a double standard. I believe that we need a new police as well.
Mhm.
Cops are trained to just be, fuckers to support whatever they believe, whatever is, the locale in which they operate, whether it be, some criminal organization or something else, that's just what they operate on, and that's kind of how government works on a whole as well,
Mhm.
is that you have local regimes that, run like gangs, and then you have these like state, city state or like actual like, province area gangs that try to fight each other. Then you have the national level gangs, and they all pretend to play nice under the this guise of like, but it's all gang warfare at the end of the day,
Yeah,
So
it's funny watching. I watch a lot of like First Amendment audit videos and cop watching videos, and it's funny when you see the two departments go at it.
yeah. Oh yeah.
They're trying to arrest each other or something.
Yeah, it's pretty insane. Everything's run like a criminal organization because that's what it is. And there's a lot of, again, unfortunately, a lot of very, very politically charged, activist, kind of toxic material out there. But if you choose to read between the lines, you can actually take away a little bit of not the sentiment, but rather the facts that they present underneath it. And it's good insight into our history, economically and financially, as well as historically, how things operated and why we are just empires upon empires of manipulation of the people. So,
Yeah.
I read a lot of literature like that. I wish I could recommend anything, but if I recommend, I'm going to get, people are going to say, oh, you support, this. Oh no, you support this. No. So I can't I can't recommend everything because every author, is always writing with a purpose to, do this or do that. There's no history books. There is no unbiased, like fact only book. Every book is biased.
The words mean something. That's what I'm learning. I've been really looking into law, common law, which is kind of what our systems, real systems based out of, not this corporate. But anyways, what was my point? Oh, words mean so history, his story. So that's what it is. It's somebody's story. It's not actually the facts of what's going on in this world. It's normally the victor's story, but nowadays it's the textbook writer's story, which is all controlled by pretty much one company.
Nobody reads textbooks. That's the thing. No one reads textbooks, except like academics who think they know things. No, people just use Twitter. That's the thing. People just go on like Twitter or like Snapchat or Instagram and they say, oh, look how great my life is. Like, I just bought this like, this cool candy or whatever. I don't know what kids do these days, but
nowadays, but I'm talking about like books in general, and
Yeah.
there's somebody else's stories, and even if you don't believe this opinion that someone is talking about, it's still good to read someone else's opinion on a
Yeah.
other side of something, because
Well, some people do know what they're talking about, and it's a big surprise for some people. Again, just a quick aside, I'm surprised. I haven't actually seen anyone in my life or heard anybody in my life actually read a book. I think it's been 2 years since I've actually heard someone say, "Hey, I've been reading a book." You know, it's a little different now because I do know a few people who are, that I've encouraged to move towards that kind of stuff, or they've encouraged themselves, and then we met and started talking about something like that. I'm a big literary nut. Books are very, very great.
I'm not the best reader. I wish I could read faster. I just have my computers read things to me. But I got two textbooks.
Never works, man.
Two textbooks here. It's wills or trust. This is trust, so another law thing. And so this is the stuff I've been studying. That get out of books, because a lot of this stuff I can't find on the internet, at least easily.
Well, I can recommend. I have a lot of resources. If anyone ever wants books, seriously reach out to me. We even have a reading room for Skycoin called the Skywire. Actually, I don't think I can advertise that, but I'm going to do it anyway. So, anything you ever want to know, biowarfare, leaked government documents, you can find that stuff if you look hard enough, and some of it's already been collected, so.
Well, a lot of this information is just hard to, there's so much of it on the internet. Sometimes the textbooks are easier to flip through and find what you're. So I'm studying trust, because they say, some people say the Constitution is a trust. So you got the beneficiaries or people, the trustee is the form of government they set up, and then the people is the people. That's the I forget the three words. The guarantee. I don't know. I forget the person that sets it up. Sets it up. There's a trustee, and then there's a beneficiary. So we're two. The people are two of those. So I kind of been trying to hopefully be able to do the same thing in the future here with a blockchain, to set up some kind of trust, because that's the main thing I don't like about blockchain cryptocurrency like community, is that they always want to ask permission from the government to do what they want to do, and that's why I like Skycoin, Bitcoin. They just don't, the code's out there, they don't ask questions to be out in the world. So
and that's the great thing, anyone can audit the code. That's why I'm a huge, I've always have been, since even back like college and high school. Like, I've always been involved in open source communities, saying like, you need to make your code public, otherwise it doesn't mean anything. It keeps people honest. And we have tools, mathematical tools, that don't require hard coding. Oh, we can't release our code because it contains sensitive information critical to the maintenance of our system. No, you don't need that, though. That doesn't exist. You can have systems without that. Bitcoin's code, Skycoin's code's public. Everything's public. And then you get to see how many people are just ripping other people's codes off, like how Substrata was just Skincoin reskinned. So
I kind of like the idea of taking someone else's code and trying to modify it for your purposes, but I don't like the idea of people just reskinning codes and then
selling it.
Trying to make money off their the value of it or something like that. But I think I really like that as the future of cryptocurrency, is that there's kind of like this skeleton structure of code where you can kind of just plug and play your new business, because that's what I see blockchain is just another form of managing a business, really.
Oh yeah, it's all, it's just it's another organization for you to manage, except this is a special kind of organization. It's a good one.
Organic.
Yeah, exactly. And because of that, it's great. So I am a huge proponent for distributed technology. Again, I don't usually use the word blockchain a lot when I talk about distributed technology, because it's a very, very diverse field that dates all the way back to the origins of the internet. And it really is fantastic. Again, there's a lot of resources out there. It is hard to find, I will say that.
I use the word blockchain, I think, as like the kind of the security of the network kind of thing.
Yeah.
You use the blockchain to secure your network, and then that kind of secures the decentralization of it as well, to be able to, you know, kind of manage the people on it or using it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But what I was talking about, I don't like people asking for permission in blockchain or cryptocurrency, is that like all the exchanges are KYC. I really hate KYC. If you have KYC, I won't use it. It's just, I don't think it's like the true mind frame or principles that blockchain or cryptocurrency should be using, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But that's the other reason I kind of like the idea of decentralized. But that is going back to decentralized exchanges. Where do you see that, like the functioning of it? Is it like a Uniswap where you just, it's peer-to-peer that way, or is it like it's just decentralized code with a Binance kind of website kind of thing behind it, or what do you?
So I think that ultimately decentralized exchanges are going to be shut down by governments. Again, it's just an inevitability with the system that we have up now.
Yeah.
I would like to see
that's
like Uniswap.
That's decentralization, like Binance, right? Where they have a website, or they're using the old internet structure kind of thing. Is that kind of decentralization will be shut down?
No, so Binance is just going to basically side with the governments and say, oh, we're going to put all of our tokens, and it's basically just going to be gambling online. And eventually that's what's going to become of most of the big exchanges. It's going to be like gambling.
Yeah.
You know, it's going to be less so, about, investing and actually getting tokens, and it's more just going to be like gambling and trading.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be like a second digital market, but it's going to be like I don't know, like one of those websites where you put money on like celebrities, like, and trade them like stocks or something like that.
Well, I believe that's where everything is going. Really is.
Yeah.
Everything will be tokenized, and if I want a token for people to support me, then But like I'm trying to think ahead where we're not using kind of the old internet structure to where there's people able to shut us down, kind of thing. So I don't know much about Uniswap or the other technologies out there, but is that kind of the idea? Is off the old internet, and you're using this more of a wallet kind of thing to just exchange peer to peer?
Yep. So that's what's going to be, is you're going to have like you're going to have in wallet or atomic swap, and it's all going to be decentralized exchange. It's all going to be on the DEX. You're going to have a single like universal API for trading coins. So any coin can trade with any other coin, regardless of. So it's going to be full interoperability, and that's kind of. We have something at that called the Universal Coin API at Skycoin. We developed that a while back, and it works. But we're currently not using it because we're busy with Skywire stuff. But anyone could turn that into a DEX, and SkyDex, is the dream for decentralized exchanges over Skywire and Skycoin Tech. So I do believe that DEXs are going to basically be the future of exchanges, mostly because once all the exchanges just go all like correct and siding with the governments and say, oh, never mind, we're not going to be for trading cryptocurrency, we're going to be for trading like digital cats, like they did with the crypto kittens. So but it's going to be I don't know, it's like I call it, it's babyification. That's if I could say what's happening across the entire internet for the past 20 years, it's babyification. Everything is becoming safe for babies. That's basically what's happening to the internet. It's a place for babies to be, so it's
safe spaces.
So if you can't say it to a baby, then it doesn't. And you can talk about like gratuitous sex to babies, according to the WHO. WHO, they say, they put out, so they're like, oh, around ages 2 to 3, your baby starts feeling sexual, it starts getting sexual tendencies. This is crazy literature. Like,
Wow.
and oh, at the age of 6 is when your child goes through like their first stages of like, like true, exploration of gender, their gender identity and all this stuff. And, this is, so if it's babyification, but in the definition of what's safe for babies by larger powers. So,
This is why I think we need to speed up the process of health journals on the blockchain,
oh yeah,
decentralizing that.
yeah.
So we
Well, I
can.
mean, then big pharma will shut you down. Oh, our multi-trillion-dollar market, we can't sell drugs to poor people anymore. Uh, Now they know that they're, but even then, like, the Panama Papers were published. Pentagon Papers have been out for decades. All this stuff is public. You can see it. Epstein's Black Book has been public since the 90s, and people don't care. People don't have the willpower or the brain to actually look it up themselves anymore because they do their thinking vicariously through corporations.
Yeah.
So
But
that's the first step.
health journals, I think, it would be a very good place to put everything on a blockchain
Yeah.
where people could kind of vote on the idea or put other peer papers and peer check things. And I don't know, I just see a future internet on blockchain of like you have a reputation and you're just contracting with different people and your contracts build up your reputation between things. And I think it's going to be a really important to have a reputation kind of based
We have a
credit system without the credit system that we have now.
I can't believe I forgot to mention this. We already have, so it's called My Daily Life, and it's a fiber project. It's one of the oldest fiber projects that we have, and it goes all the way back along with Solar Bankers and the other ones, and Spaco if they're still running. So MDL is exactly like that, and it's run by this dude Roman or something, and he's the whole thing, it's all based around reputation and like selling your talent through the technologies with Skycoin and having your own like identity that you own and that you can market to anybody else. And again, it's a $1 trillion, if not multi-trillion dollar market. Is this idea of the creator, of the person that creates content over the internet for others to enjoy or for companies to use for analytics. But you get that money because you get to choose whether or not you sell it. So My Daily Life, I would encourage
right,
everybody to look that up.
Check into that, see what that's all about. That's pretty interesting. I think that's pretty much everything I wanted to talk about. Is there any other subjects? I thought I had a question here, but it slipped in my mind. Oh, let's just real quick. Where do you see future of Skycoin, future projects? What are you excited about in future Skycoin?
I'm very excited about where the CX project is going. It has been kind of my favorite project to see develop over the years. And I think now that we have a very solid team on that, we're already doing fantastic work with getting the APIs working for the CX chains and getting everything cleaned up for that. And soon those will be usable for like anybody, personal or corporate, whatever you want to use it for. I'm excited to see the new release of the new firmware for the wallets that can support a lot of different tokens now, like Ethereum, Bitcoin, a few others. I'm excited to see continuing integrations of other current Skycoin tech with the hypervisor for Skywire and seeing this VPN getting closer and closer to being able to actually commercialize and do the coin the Skycoin hour metering, and just all of that. And hopefully we'll see actual releases of the hardware soon. So the hardware, not the hardware wallet, the miner and the antenna and all that stuff. So that's what I'm excited about.
Where do you see the timeline on a user being able to access all of this without actually setting up their own kind of Sky miner or nodes?
I would hope soon. That's all I can say. I don't have any hard roadmaps for most of the tech.
A year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years?
I'd say pretty soon. So probably a year to 2 years.
Is there any products right now that I can access without a Sky miner?
Yeah, so Skywire you can run on any computer. You can set up a node in your house. The VPN as well. Again, it is kind of, again, we don't have anything too non-technical just yet in terms of getting it set up. That's the biggest thing we're working on, is being able to actually have it so you can just plug and play your SkyMiner, or plug and play the Sky VPN, or just download it and run the app, just like Proton VPN or Air VPN or something like that. So we're getting towards that. I would say like the biggest thing that you can do right now, you can run a Skycoin node, download the wallet, run the node. We have a tip bot. I mean, if I had some Skycoin in that wallet, I'd tip it to you, but that wallet's been dry for a while. I don't even know if the tip bot's still running on our servers, but CX language, you can download that and run that, pretty easy. There's an install on the GitHub as well as on our website. You'll see that. And, the hardware wallet, you can buy that right now and cold storage your Skycoin. Again, soon more tokens, but not just yet. So yeah.
I just thought of this one really quick. Telegram, there's a Sky Palace.
Oh yeah.
So
is that the,
how does that work exactly?
Is that the game room?
Yeah, it's a game, or let's see. It says you register, deposit this amount of Skycoin, or not this amount. This is your address. I think it's like just like a dice thing.
Yeah. So that's going to be the gambling room that I think Ingi set up. I'm going to be chastised by someone if I got that name wrong. I don't know if it was Ingi who set that up, but he set up a lot of our bots, and he set up the gambling room. Yeah. So you set up a wallet, right, with the bot, you register with it, and then you put Skycoin into that wallet, and then you can use the gambling bot. I don't know if it's running right now. So again, there's lots of things that I don't know whether or not it's still up yet.
Is that a CX program, or is that?
It's running. It's just a Telegram bot, so running on top of Skycoin. So yeah,
it's just using like a wallet. Pretty much all it's using.
Yeah, exactly. It's just
not using any technology of Skycoin besides the token.
Well, actually, I think I can't actually say for sure because I don't know, but it might actually be using CX. I know a lot of things are using CX, and I can't remember which ones are in art, but yeah. So if it's not using CX, then it's probably just gonna be using Golang on top of a Skycoin node. So yeah.
Cool. Just thought I'd bring that out there, just kind of get that out there and pick your mind how that works. I think that is about it.
Awesome.
I hope we can maybe do this in the future. So if anybody wants to comment, ask some questions, put those in the comments. We will ask those next time. If you are willing to come back in a month or so, or whatever, however that works, we'll connect in the future. But
sure.
So one more time, you give me all your information for people to contact you.
So it's Geofffery Kublin, or Mr. KittyFace on Telegram. So it's just KittyFace, all lowercase. You can shoot me a message there. I'm also in the public chats, so the Skycoin main room there. All the links are on our websites, www.skycoin.com. If you want to do further reading, it's there. Our GitHub is Skycoin Project or just Skycoin. We own both repos. And yeah, that's it. Cool.
Awesome. Let me throw one more question and I'll edit it into the middle somehow. What was I about to ask? I was thinking coins. Oh my God, there's so much in this Skycoin world. What was it? Brain fire was just right there. VPNs. Oh my God. It was, coin hours.
Yeah.
Let's talk about coin hours. There is a coin hours website, which is kind of interesting, where people can go.
Yep. Skycoinhour.com. Yeah.
Is it Skycoin? I thought it was in an exchange. The last time it was hard for me to, or I don't know. How's that Skycoin hours on exchanges?
So Skycoin. So the way it works is, so Skycoin is actually, there's two currencies. So you have the Skycoin, and then for every hour that you have that Skycoin in your wallet, you get a single coin hour. So let's say if I have 10 Skycoin, then if I hold that for 1 hour in my wallet, then I get 10 Skycoin hours. And then I get 240 in a day, 86,000 something hundred. Oh no. Yeah, never mind. I don't know how to do math. I don't know. You get a certain amount per year, like 8,000 per year or 80,000 per year. And then you burn 10% on a transaction. So if I have 10 Skycoin and I want to send it to my friend, then I burn one of those coin hours, or actually 10% of the coin hours. So let's say I have 100 coin hours, then I burn 10 of those. And the burn is for the regulation of the coin.
Yeah.
And you can trade the coin hours. We're on an exchange now for the coin hours. I think it's XBTS. And there's also websites where you can actually purchase things with the coin hours now as well.
Coinhours.com, right? That's what it is?
Skycoinhour.com.
What's the exchange once again?
XBTS.io, I think.
XBTS.io.
Yeah.
I'll check that out. Coin hours. So it's kind of complicated to get your coin hours out. We might have to do a separate video on this to kind of just explain how the wallet really, the easiest way to use all the wallets and stuff like that. But what's the best way to like preserve most of your coin hours?
Just hold them. Just hold your Skycoin.
So the longer I hold them, then say I got one wallet, I got 100 coins in there, whatever. I got 1 million coin hours. It's been sitting there for years. I pull it out, and then it takes 10%. Is there a way I could pull coin hours out of that wallet? Like how do you separate your coin hours from your Skycoin?
So currently what people are doing to exchange it is they're just accepting the burn and they're sending 1,000th of a Skycoin because our droplet size is 1,000 currently. We're actually programmatically can support 1,000,000th, but we haven't unlocked that denomination yet. So, but currently that's how we send it. We do have the coin hour bank, which is going to be 0% trades with coin hours, and it's going to be we're going to do like a collateral asset system for that. So again, a lot of stuff in development. Currently, I would just say, hold your coins.
Yeah. I don't know. I was always curious of how to preserve as many coin hours as possible, spend them in the future. I didn't know if it's would it be better to move your coin hours around within your wallet to preserve them over time? I don't know.
So what I do is I have a cold storage wallet that stores all the Skycoin, all the coin hours that I want. And then I have my hot wallet that I just use for, sending coins here and there. My hot wallet's empty right now, and I don't plan on replenishing it because I'm holding on to all my Skycoins.
Yeah. Yeah. I just got it in. It's on my phone, but
yeah,
it just stays on that app. It doesn't go back to the exchanges because there's too many ups and downs. I'd want to trade it too much.
So, yeah, same. Like that's why I keep it all in cold storage now. Is because, it went up to like $1 for on December. I want to say December 23rd. We got up to like 3,500 sats. While Bitcoin was at 24K. And it was a big moment where we have support around 54 cents right now, as well as resistance around 55, 56 cents. So it's like I want to say 1520 and 1580 is support and resistance. But I don't know. Again, I don't know the TA off the top of my head too well. So, yeah. But yeah, it's a good coin. I love Skycoin.
Yeah, I think it's a great price right now. I think it's worth a good price would be $1, I think, but after the old HTML hack that they got kind of, what was it, $1.30, $1.50, something, or another, I don't know.
Yeah.
But as it was dropping down $1, I was like, I'll buy as much at $1. It's still a great value at $1, I think.
Yeah. Oh, it's a great value at any price because it's going to go up inevitably. Skycoins, it's been around for like the entirety of crypto winter, getting products out, getting things done. So it's going to continue regardless of whether or not we're up or down. So that's the thing. It's inevitable that we'll eventually get, everything done and that our coin will go to like $100 or $1,000 because, I mean, like, why would we just stop working now? So yeah, we have the money to get everything done, and we have we have all the resources as well. So it's going to be, especially with the crypto boom coming up. I think people said it's going to be February, like they've been saying February 2020 or 2021
What
since like 2018 for the next alt season.
altcoins? That.
Yeah. So I think it's actually going to happen in March or April now, not February. I was hoping February, but there's going to be this huge thing happening.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I thought the attack on the websites was actually kind of hilarious, because the old system, which they're trying to build a replacement for it, was the most vulnerable part of the Skycoin ecosystem, which is what they're trying to replace anyway. So I thought it was kind of sad, sad but funny that
we were cleaning house. That's basically what was happening. Mm-hmm. So a single rogue employee who was very, very an immature man-child, if you will, who I am going to graciously avoid doxing, even though I very much want to.
Besides that, this is exactly what Skycoin is fighting against, is this easier system of the internet to be able to hack or DDoS or different attack aspects of the old internet.
Yeah,
Skycoin's trying to do away with, which is
exactly. And we won all the lawsuits too, so that's also great. We won all the lawsuits, every single one dating back to the kidnapping.
Yeah,
so everything's done. There's nothing left in our way, so we're just getting work done, and that's what's been happening since 2020, all throughout. So yeah,
it's just that hack is just makes Skycoin stronger. I think it's the same thing with these social media platforms. They took down Parler. I think Parler just gonna get stronger, and then Gab. When did they attack Gab?
Oh, Gab!
A year ago or something?
No, Gab was very recent. Actually, my buddy was talking about it the other day. He said, yeah, for some reason, all of my computers, like Chrome and everything, uninstalled Gab, and now Gab's just gone. It's just been shadowed.
Yeah, you got to download it through their software or something, or I don't know. You have to.
I don't even know if it still works.
I think their website's set up so good that it kind of just runs like an app on your phone when you do through the browser. So I think you just pin it to your home screen. I think that's what they're doing. Yeah. I'm not sure, but Parler, they attacked him. They just made him stronger. So
yeah. But Parler, I'm upset with. I don't think Parler's going to recover. So they had a huge leak. They had a bunch of like feminazi SJWs, just paid actors to just release all the data on Parler, and it's like 70 or 90 terabytes of just all the user data that's just been uploaded en masse to like 50 different hard drives now, and 50 different databases. And now anyone can access it now. And people are like uploading, oh, look at this. I made a database of all the million different people who said they were Trump supporters. Like, here's their personal information. You can go call the numbers, and I don't think Parler will be able to recover from that. I hope they do. But yeah, it's upsetting.
I don't really like Parler very much. They're just not very user friendly. I think these newer social media platforms have this problem about like freedom of speech and not wanting to build an algorithm to actually make their platforms usable. Do you know what I mean?
I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah. So like you go on these platforms and you can't really find anything interesting or you're interested in. And the thing that made, Twitter and YouTube so popular is that they're putting things that you're interested in front of your faces. And I don't think that's what YouTube wanted to do, is put true information in front of everybody's faces. But there for a while, like you go from one video to another one, and you're just sucked into all the information that you were learning, and you could go down one path to another path, and it was a great environment to to be on. But then they throttled everybody's, the good people's. They put everybody's fake news in front of you and took away all the other people that are trying to tell you the truth and kind of destroyed.
Yeah.
But I think it's disappointing that these newer platforms don't want to use the algorithms. Like, you could protect people's data and still use an algorithm. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to.
There needs to be a good balance.
Yeah.
And again, it's kind of this balance between ownership and privacy, it's security, also the underlying technology trade-offs, and then finally just aggregation, being able to actually, and this is why I believe that the future internet is not going to be fully distributed. It's going to be decentralized. We're going to have, we're going to have all this optimizations where people localize the data and stuff, but at the same time, we're still going to have these legacy servers that hold all the information as well. So we're going to have this dual system where you still aggregate all the data on a single server or multiple servers, but what's changed is how the actual technology distributes, replicates, and propagates this data, and where it ends up and who owns it. So that's kind of where I see the future going, at least as a good trade-off with what we have right now.
I hope it goes into where I personally control everything that I post, or all my data I use, and then I have 100% control to use applications to kind of make my own algorithm or news feed or things like that. So I hope to see the internet to be more of not like a Twitter or Facebook where they hold all the information, but they're more of the program that helps you kind of see what you want to see.
Yeah, they're a tool for aggregation.
Yeah.
That's all they are, is just a tool for aggregation. The federalization is what happens underneath, and you can federalize all the databases and stuff. And what they are is just a tool for aggregation and propagation.
Yeah.
So
so I hope to see it being, you have all your data and then you pick and choose who you want to help you aggregate your information, but then you should be able to torrent your information. So if you don't want to have it, you can have it on clouds everywhere, but people can't really know what it is, or you can just put it all on your personal computer or personal server or something like that. But no one has access unless you give them those keys, and or you just download a open source Twitter, and then you start aggregating it without even giving any information. You're just giving it to your application, kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. I think the same thing, and also being able to set up your own server for the system as well. Saying I want to be able to join in on the aggregation, providing, and also being able to provide, and getting paid for it too. Yeah. I think that's the future.
Yeah. That's another thing that I see is you're aggregating your own website as like maybe a news thing, and then the blockchain rewards you as you get traffic through it, or I don't know. I always thought the Steam It platform was kind of interesting, but I don't like how where they took it, but it was a great idea. But,
I'm not a huge fan of BitChute myself, but I do again, it is upsetting that what happened to them, and I do think that this shouldn't really be happening to these platforms. Mm-hmm. Even though I personally don't use it, I'm sure a lot of people do. Yeah, and it's great. It's a good tech.
I love it that it's all out there. I just haven't found the one that I visualize in the future that blockchain will bring us to, or cryptocurrency will bring us to, where you're using the platform, and if you curate something, then you get compensated for that, or if you post something and it gets curated across the internet, then you get compensated for that, and things like that. And I don't know, I just see a different world than where we're at right now, and I hope we move closer to being able to control our information and actually getting a little bit of kickback for that, instead of just a free account.
Yeah. Anyway, cool. It's been good talking to you, by the way.
Yeah, it was nice talking to you too. It was a great interview. Hopefully I can
cut
all the bad parts out and make it really good for everybody. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah.
I hope to get some more people. So if you know anybody that wants to do an interview,
I'll recommend a few. Yeah. So
I would really want to get more of the Skycoin community, instead of just sent out there, getting the voice out and explaining the benefits of Skycoin. I think it's definitely the future.
If I could recommend 3, I'll recommend 2 or 3 people. So Frey, Crypto Frey, best person interview, I would say. Top of the list, I would say, higher than me and higher than anybody else on the team.
Yeah, I was gonna reach out to him.
Really good.
Lawful, or whatever.
Lawful would never. So Lawful would probably. You can probably
yesterday
over like text, probably.
He said over text, but he also pointed me to the CX language head developer.
Amari.
Yeah. So
So
reach out to him. And
Amari is great.
this Jeff Brochard.
Yeah, Jeff. Yeah, he's the in charge of the Private Nest Network. So
Okay.
he'd be good.
He has his own less, is that privacy less or something like that?
Yeah, Private Nest. So this is his own it's his own CX chains project that he's doing. And it's going to be, I mean, he's been running it for a long time now.
Yeah,
I
read his white paper. He's definitely on the same bandwidth as me about the future, hopefully.
Oh, he really is. Yeah,
so
great guy.
Trying to get people out of the mindset of needing government, and like I don't know. Have you ever researched common law or even heard about? It's getting more mainstream nowadays. But do you know anything about?
Not really familiar myself.
So it's just it's like man versus man in court kind of thing. I don't know. We're in the system of they incorporated us. I don't know if you understand that they got your birth certificate and they trade that around, and
yeah,
and then they pull your birth certificate in court, and that's how they write you tickets and how they contract with you. But they're like the court system we think that we are supposed to be under is a contract court. They're courts of the sea, and then there's courts of the land, which is the common law, which came from, it's all over the world, but we got it from England common law. So it's pretty much man versus man. If you have a claim against somebody, you do property and a trespass. That's pretty much all you bring into court is this man trespassed on this property, and it kind of takes the government aspect out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like this is a system we can live in right now, but everybody's living in this government system where they still go to court and they fight under their straw man, and then they whatever decisions made they just go with it because they just don't understand anything. But I think a lot of people are catching on to this common law thing, and I really want to build a platform, or I don't know if I can do the building, but maybe I can help aggregate it or bring it together.
Yeah.
But this idea to protect the court system of common law, and kind of that's why I keep saying contract. I want to be this system where you control everything, and then you can contract with people, and you're not forced to contract with people you don't want to be, forced to contract with, which means you don't be forced to contract with the government.
Exactly. Yeah. So anyway, so let's see. Frey is great. Amari's great. Jeff is great. Lawful. I mean, I would definitely take if he did even say like text, I would still do that. Lawful is probably the best resource for Skycoin.
Okay.
There's a reason why he's head of like community management and all this stuff, is because he really is just fantastic. So I work closely with Lawful at my position with Skycoin. So he's fantastic. Great guy. So
cool. Awesome. Sounds good.
Yep.
Start reaching out to some more people. This one will do. I gotta figure out how to get this video better. I guess my camera's not that good.
Yeah, just add some graphics and stuff. I'm sure it'll be great.
Probably use your kitty cat picture for most of it and just put that over as you speak.
Yep. Oh yeah. So that cat. So yeah, that's a funny story. So if you want, is this still recording?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, please don't include this then, but I'll say it anyway. If you choose to include it, I guess I can't do anything about it, but
I'll edit things, so don't worry.
Okay, good. So cut this part out. So I'm going to get into a couple personal things. I actually ran my own cryptocurrency project called Praxis, and it was we were doing non-fungible tokens. So in October of 2019, 2019, I created this thing called universal non-fungible tokens. It's basically a way to actually combine non-fungible tokens, tokenization, and decentralized finance under the one hood, under a single blockchain tech. So
what was that again? It's three things, right?
Yeah. So it's non-fungible tokens, and this idea of like just storing arbitrary data on the blockchain and code. plus the smart contracts and all all of that. So you have your code and your data, and in addition, this organization of stuff that kind of like what you have with EOS. So I'm not a huge fan of EOS, but they have
Don't like
everything organized, such that you have like an account and all this stuff, and you have like this single wallet.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of what it was. And it grew from there into we were going to do a trading card game. And then we created this thing called Slycion. And we just didn't meet any of the financial goals, so I couldn't continue with it. So I'd actually continue some of my work elsewhere. So that's again, that's one of the big problems with crypto is, you can have these great ideas and you can really campaign to get it done, but it's really hard to see something succeed in a market where already like the intrigue has already been drawn towards large names. And it's really hard to sell now. So unless you actually have contacts, it's hard to get a project done. And this is how it happens. You have about a dozen people in the world who actually have the money, and that's the people you need to convince. And then they have like fingers all over the world as well, and they have money as well, and they interface with people, through legal teams and stuff. And really, it's just these like rich Russians or Europeans who just like go out and trash places and have parties and get drunk and like shoot coke up their dicks, and then they have like lawyers who are just like, oh yeah, then he got indicted on like 50 counts of something, and but now we have to pay $20 million for this small country or whatever. Anyway, and essentially, crypto is part of that problem where most of the companies that are getting created are the same people who are creating the same product just with a different name and reskinning it and doing billion-dollar pump and dumps.
Yeah.
And that's what the ICO market really is, and that's what it still is.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, it's
I pick and choose coins like how they're ran and like it's like a freedom level, like what level of freedom is it on? And
yeah, exactly.
It's closer to this side of true freedom, then I'm more likely to use it than over here where it doesn't look like it looks like they're gonna take freedoms away from me.
Yeah, so it's crazy. I do think Skycoin is a great company because or it's just a great project. I shouldn't really call it a company. I mean it is, but it's a project. It's a decentralized project. It's headed by Synth, and everybody else really does work together to make it great. I think the community is fantastic. I like that people can say they hate the coin in the chats, and people can then say why you're hating the coin, or just be rude to them. And it's well moderated, as well as allowing for people to express themselves even if they don't like the coin. Yeah. So yeah,
hey, you cannot like the coin, I don't care, it's more coins for me.
Yeah, exactly, more coins for me. So yeah, there's a lot of, and again, if people ever get if you ever need to explain why a certain thing that's kind of bad with our coin exists, so like because there's been a lot of drama in the past, we have a website called skyfud.com, and you can go there and you can look up anything you want about the problems that, or the things that people draw to our coin for like fudding, or if they're doing like JQ, or like saying, oh, remember this drama, we explain all of it on that website. I can't remember who actually runs that.
Yeah, so it's a big project, a lot of people, so there's gonna be drama in it. It's expected.
Oh well, I mean, it's really old.
It's all about the idea to me. So if
yeah,
if the idea gets implemented, you know what, they could have all the drama in the world. I don't care.
Oh yeah, exactly. I'm in the same mindset. Drama is going to exist, and the coin's been around for like a decade now. It's one of the oldest projects. Obviously, it's going to have drama. But I'm just very happy it's been drama free. In the last year and a half. So
yeah. I hope you have some more time, because I have one more question.
Yeah.
Because I'm a novice, so can you explain the security of Obelisk and kind of like?
Oh yeah. So that's a dense topic.
Yeah, I know.
So I had an article up on my, again, I deleted a lot of my articles on my when I was moving over to my new account. I deleted a lot of my articles off of Medium because I was going to repost them on a new account. I haven't had the time, and just a bunch of things, and then I just kind of forgot about it. But I have this huge like 75-page write-up about Obelisk somewhere on my hard drive that I need to re-upload, and that explains it very well. I'm going to upload that again eventually.
That's why I don't understand it very well, because there's a lot of reading behind it too.
Well, this is the comprehensive guide. I wrote this to be like anyone can read it. And there's we also have someone, I think Frey recorded like an hour and 40-minute long. They sat down and for an hour and 40 minutes read the entire thing, put some like nice piano music to it. It's fantastic. It's the best audio book version of Obelisk out there.
I do a lot of my learning when I'm doing other things because it just plays in the background.
No, it's the best. Yeah. And I don't know if that's still up. I might have also gotten rid of that. So again, a lot of things that I'll need to re-upload. I'm surprised. I'll be surprised if it's not on any of the official, like we have an official like Skycoin, I think SoundCloud for some of the interviews. I'll see if I can talk to someone to get it on there. If not, then I'll upload it on a new like SoundCloud or something, or I'll just do file share over, because I'm pretty sure there's a actual file of it on Telegram that I can send as well. So, but I'll be re-uploading as much of that as I can in the coming weeks. But to give it a quick overview, Obelisk is the centerpiece for security and consensus on blockchain. So essentially what we do with Obelisk is, instead of having 500 different systems that drain your electricity, or like just a Ponzi scheme, or no, it's like MLM schemes and Ponzi's, like what's it called, proof of stake. Proof of stake, there's a reason why they have like DPoS and all this stuff with proof of stake, is because they want to control all the tokens, and they want to control the minting process. So they own the tokens and they own all the new tokens as well. So that's kind of like what proof of stake is for. And that's why people like it so much, is because then they get to control the tokens. And that, for instance, EOS is a scam. There's a reason why they did $1 billion ICO and then they ran off with all the money, and they got block.1 or whatever just to like produce the product, and they didn't give a crap about anybody. So, and I don't know if I can actually, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that's fine. So, because there's a lot of stuff that people tell me in confidence. Like I talk with a developer and then like I say something and then like, oh, you shouldn't have said that. So there's a lot of stuff like that in the crypto community, which is why, it's very exciting. It's like being in, like a TV show or something, because every day you're just like talking to someone and it's just like, oh yeah. And then, they all fit to like different stereotypes. Like it's very corrupt as well. Crypto is very corrupt. Not all of it. There's always a good side. Yeah. So, and Obelisk is kind of there to kind of fix all that. So the way it works is that regardless of how many malicious nodes there are on the network, the honest nodes will still be able to protect themselves and actually keep the network alive. So Obelisk is very resilient. Every node on the network is intelligent, skeptical, and just fully capable of actually producing the network and providing. So, and I'm not going to get too much into the tech with Obelisk, because there's been so many different white papers over the years.
Yeah, just the basics of how it works. So I had another question that just went in and went out. So it's a like a reputation base, right?
Yeah. So so basically everybody is like it's a trust-based system. So it's a web of trust. Everybody gets to have a list of nodes that they trust and nodes that they're suspicious of, and everybody has a blacklist. And you have this kind of delicate balance between algorithms for people who want to promote, a certain block maker, or, whether or not they want to, say to this network, hey, this guy's suspicious, please like put him on a suspect list or something like that. And there's a lot of different mechanisms at play that make Obelisk pretty great. But really the main thing is that, yes, it's a web of trust. Everything has a reputation. And because of that, because trust is intrinsic to the network, you're not making a lie. So this is a problem with trustless networks on crypto. It doesn't exist. Trust is intrinsic to the network, because the systems we create with crypto are inherently human, at least on top of it. Like we can secure everything algorithmically, and essentially what we're not doing is, it's not trust based on human emotion or something like that. It's trust based on an algorithm.
Yeah.
So we're basically quantizing trust. And because of that, we're able to actually algorithmically create a secure network based on it. And it's lightweight, and you'll be able to run it like anywhere. Like currently the Skycoin blockchain is really lightweight. So once we add in Obelisk, it's not going to add anything. Yeah, so
Skycoin, Obelisk, those are two separate things at this point.
So yeah, so most of the Obelisk stuff right now is just on paper, and there's been a lot of simulation testing for it as well. Beyond that, there's no perfect implementation just yet. If there is, I'm not on the team. So yeah, so again, there's a lot of it's mostly things are communicated when they're allowed to be communicated about. So
it's kind of like your algorithm ranks different nodes, kind of maybe from maybe a 1 to 100 kind of thing, and then it just decides what information to pull from separate nodes, or
it's more like
share with each other kind of
it's
thing.
more like your node has an opinion on all the other nodes and tells all the nodes that follow your node about other nodes, whether or not they should trust it or not trust it. So it's kind of this, it's called opinion dynamics. And
yeah,
essentially that's how it works. Is you can think of it as every node has opinions of other nodes that they're connected to, and people follow different nodes, or nodes follow.
It's your opinion of this node, and then another node gets your comment from this node, and it kind of
Yeah,
curates the trustability of this other node based off all the other nodes it's connected with.
exactly. Yeah. Plus, there's its own intrinsic ability to determine whether or not nodes are trustworthy or not based on the actions that a node's taken. So there's this idea of non-revocation, where when you publish something to the network, you can't then revoke that action. So it's again, it's a lot like dual spending. You can't double spend something, but instead it's more about non-revocation. You can't unpublish something, and that's something that we can preserve on the internet very well and very fast, because again, you can have exponential replication and propagation. So this is why you can have like block times of a second, is because you can replicate data fast on the internet. So this idea of non-revocation is possible and doable. And on top of that, then you have the ability to algorithmically take in all the opinions of nodes on other nodes, and based on your own intelligence that's built into you and that you've learned through the system, you'll then be able to actually decide whether or not nodes are trustworthy or not trustworthy. And this is the basis of Obelisk.
Cool. So what is Skycoin running on right now? What's their...
So we're actually currently a master node. A lot of people say, oh, it's not a real consensus. It is a real consensus. So all the master node is we just have the one block publisher. All the validation is done user side. All of like the verification and all of like the peer-to-peer stuff, that's all actually implemented. The only thing that isn't is distributed block publishing. And again, that's not going to be fully implemented until Obelisk is complete, and then we'll be able to do that. So we do have consensus. Again, if you want further reading, skyfud.com has everything you'll ever need to know about it, because people often call our project, oh, it's not a real crypto project, doesn't have consensus, but it does. Everything's done peer-to-peer.
Well, that's the master node kind of is the consensus of the algorithm, right?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah,
which is pretty much all you need. That's what I see future businesses being, future communities or whatever. It's just a master node of just that's your vote. I believe that's the future of the businesses, is that you get a token, or you can tokenize, or however you want to do it. You put your tokens in a master node to show your stake in this company or group organization, and then you're allowed to decide the path this organization takes, kind of thing. I think that is the future. Well, I want it to be the future, at least.
Yeah. Cool.
All right.
If that's it for questions, again, if you have any more, I'll be happy to answer them at a future date. Or, if you want to just ask me over Telegram, again, just KittyFace.
Sounds good.
That goes for you and also your listeners.
Sounds good. All right. I think I got all the questions out, even the ones that are popping in my head. So we will say goodbye, and hopefully we'll talk to you next time.
Awesome. Cool. Take care, man.
All right. Have a good one. Bye.